that went viral a few years ago. Well, it went viral in my house, and it made me laugh. And I can't not think about it, so I want to share it with you.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Nice and shiny. It's a 78. Yeah, looks really good. Yeah. Long Island, New York garage. Every day it's like, oh, go figure. Look at that. Oh, look at that. And it's real clean and you can work on it. It's whatever. The things are not packed really. Right. Still a lot of room. So, yeah. Consideration. Right. You can still do it. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. You know, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, would you look at that? You know what I mean? Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. What the heck is that? Oh, look at it. You're running all around the car. Yeah, you know, oh, would you look at that? Just look at that. Would you just look at it? I mean, just look at it.
Maybe it's just me, I just think that's hilarious. So picture the scene with Jesus then. Jesus and his disciples have seen stones and temples before. They've gone to temple for most of their lives. They were just in temple. They were at the courtyard when they watched that widow drop those 2 mites into the box. And they had a conversation about it. And here those disciples seem to be looking at the stones as if they've never seen them before. Well, would you look at that? Look at those stones. Those stones right there. They're big stones. Would you look at those stones? Maybe the disciples tried to distract Jesus from the point that he just made about the widow's generosity. Or maybe he's trying to change the subject. Maybe the issue of the widow and the poor and the needy have very little means, and the message of giving is a little difficult for him. We've done that. Haven't we done that? Change the subject when it gets a little too close for comfort. Maybe he feels like Jesus is showing a mirror, holding up a mirror or a magnifying glass in front of him. He's looking a little too closely at him, and he's uncomfortable with that. Up close and personal, uncomfortable. Well, I can relate to that a bit. Maybe you can. We want everyone to think well of us. And we don't want our shortcomings to be seen. We spend time and energy keeping all of those under wraps. Do you see those great buildings? Jesus says, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. And the disciples want to know, well, when will this happen? And Jesus said, watch out that no one deceives you. Many will come in my name, claiming I am he, and will deceive many. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be earthquakes in various places and famine. And these are the beginning of birth pains. This is a challenging part of the gospel. It sounds terrible, calamitous. The images describe something we don't want to see or heal or deal with. It sounds frightening and painful. War between nations. Kingdoms separated from kingdoms. The earth will quake and famine will spread. The scary part is, it kind of sounds like our world today, doesn't it? Earthquakes, fires, and famine. And yet Jesus is his compassionate self And he says, do not be alarmed. This must take place. It isn't the end. It is the beginning, and it must be this way. It is the beginning of birth pains. Giving birth is no easy task. It's painful, it's messy, it's scary, it's sometimes dangerous. It can take a relatively short time or an excruciatingly long time. And sometimes it ends tragically, and the hope that was held throughout is vanquished. But most often, hope is birthed. New life, new beginnings, new possibilities, new dreams, and hope is born. It's the beginning of birth pains. It's as if Jesus is saying, don't worry, you're going to be just fine. I'm the midwife who will get you through. Put your trust in me. I've got you. And those stones come a-tumbling down. We grow afraid when our world, when our own lives or inner life begins to shake and tremble. When stones start to rock and tumble. And we often do everything we possibly can to hold them back, to shore them up, throw some mortar at them, and hope they'll stand firm. Even when they might be towers that separate us, or walls that divide us and keep others out of our space, out of our lives, out of our brain space. We try to keep those boulders intact when maybe they need to be demolished and cleared so that something new may be built. Our faith tells us to turn away from distractions and look pain and suffering straight in the eye and embrace and enflesh the power of new life just waiting to be born. What if instead we listen to the divine midwife and we just take a deep breath. We breathe through the fear, and we breathe through the pain, and we push a little. What might happen? What if we pushed with faith and with love and with anticipation for something new? What if we pushed and pushed some more with hope and expectation, ready to welcome and embrace the new? What would you birth? A stronger sense of self? A new relationship? A new career path? A new creative outlet? A garden? What might we together as a church give birth to? A new program? A new fundraiser? A new way or day to worship? A new mission? A new sense of purpose? Would we birth possibility? What if we looked at the church body as ready to birth something truly new and amazing that would bring new life to the community? Maybe, if we listen closely enough, we'll see and we'll feel that divine midwife beside us, supporting us and holding us and whispering, I've got you. Don't be afraid. It's almost here. Birthing hope. We can do that together, you and I. And Jesus, hope. And people will say with wonder, well, would you just look at that? Amen.